Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. We have with us the superintendent of Lafourche Parish, Mr. Jared Martin. We're going to talk today about an incident involving some mold, and the superintendent is always vigilant and transparent when he comes on here. So let's ask him about some of the schools that were affected today, and what's the mold concern that's going around, and I'll give you the floor and let you explain it.
Yes, sir. So going back for a few weeks, we had some visible mold appear on a classroom floor at Cutoff Elementary School. And our protocol is to clean it, to try to find the water source and then see what happens. And in this particular case, it was cleaned and then it came back. And when it came back, it struck the maintenance department as odd and the principal as odd. And so we did some testing of it. And upon, there's some pictures of it there, and upon testing, the air quality never tested poorly, but we realized that there could be a moisture issue behind that wall to cause it to happen, and so we're going to do a little destructive testing. So we're going to peel the wall back, and that's when we send a letter home to some parents explaining we're going to move the kids out of the classroom to put them into another classroom so we can pull that wall back. And what we were able to find is that the air conditioning system, which happens to be 44 years old, was condensating to the point that it had some water behind those walls, and that water behind those walls caused some significant mold growth. And so that led to more testing, which actually then finally resulted in some air quality samples that were not good. And so we had to completely mitigate the entire campus of Cutoff Elementary School, and that happened over the Thanksgiving holidays. We will be announcing this afternoon that Cutoff Elementary School has been completely remediated and will be open Tuesday. That call is going to go out to parents this afternoon, but we wanted to actually see the test results and make sure that the entire campus was completely remediated before we did that.
So when mold's a funny deal. I mean, you could kind of heard so many mold stories. They all seem to be different. Do you ever really know what you're dealing with mold until you get it tested? Or do they have anybody that can look at it and go, yeah, okay, that's specific species, whatever? Do they have experts that can look and identify it right away? Or do you really have to send them all off to get them tested?
So the EPA and the CDC are pretty clear on this. Air sampling should be done. And they actually, believe it or not, don't recommend surface sampling because whenever you see mold, you can assume it's bad. There is no mold that is considered okay. And so what you have to do is hire a mold mitigation company that is certified in using the antimicrobial agents to get rid of the mold. And then more importantly, you've got to remove the water source that allowed the mold to exist in the first place. And in all instances of this particular school, it was all a result of the air conditioning system. These air conditioners run on chill water lines, and those chill water lines have to be properly insulated, or those cold water lines get exposed to the hot air and they condensate. As soon as they condensate, the water will drip on, as an example, a drop ceiling like that. And then when you've got a paper ceiling tile that is wet in South Louisiana, it is a perfect recipe for the growth of mold.
Yeah, on the HVAC systems, we know they're so massive in these schools. Is there a maintenance kind of program that you sort of go through with your superintendents that are in charge of that particular thing? And what's the process on that? Maybe you could bring us up to speed.
Yeah, in fact, we've got a robust maintenance department. I think that we've got around 6 or 7 HVAC techs on staff, but we also partner with a number of folks that help guide us through this process. In this particular campus, we've already got the help of a mechanical engineer to design an entirely new air conditioning system and to shore up and repair all of these chill water lines that are causing this sweating in the first place.
All right, so that's, once again, how do you, I mean, because if you look on Facebook or YouTube or anything, when you get a moldy situation, you could have everything, comments ranging all over the place. How do you, as a superintendent, keep them those, and you want to be responsible as a superintendent, but how do you keep them factual and people with the facts? Because, boy, the stories could blow up all over the place, and next thing you know, everybody's taking a different angle on this. So how do you keep that in line?
Well, what we've done is we've taken all of the reports that we've gotten from our mold mitigation companies. We've made them available on our website. So on our website, you can go to the land and facilities page, you can click on each school. And so whenever we conduct any mold sampling, those reports will be publicly available on our website so that people can see the actual results of those tests. What I did not know and what I'm learning through this process is that mold is a sort of an ever-present thing. All of our buildings have, to some degree, mold spores present. The question is the air quality such that there are more mold spores in the indoor air than the outdoor air? That's how this stuff is measured. And so we want to keep those humidity levels down. We want to remove the water source and the food source, and that way we can maintain as mold-free an environment as possible. Just real quick, we have about 50 seconds left. Any sickness from this as you know of, or what's the latest on the health of the students? Yes, so there have been some parents that have linked some student illnesses to the building, but I don't know how you can definitively connect those two. But I can tell you it's something that we're not going to sit on our hands and wait until students become more sick. We're going to take every precaution to make sure that these schools don't have anything that could lead to student illnesses. We're committed to properly remediating and mitigating any mold that shows up on our campuses. All right, Mr. Martin, we appreciate you joining us as always. And if you could keep us posted on that, we'll continue to bring it to the public, but we appreciate your time today. Yes, sir, Mr. Falls. Thank you. All right, Mr. Jared Martin, Superintendent of Lafourche Parish Schools. We'll be right back.
Social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.